Here we have Gan Aden Gimel, Chelek Bet. So this is the second section of the third cycle of the Garden of Eden. Vatiten gam leisha imah vayochal, and she gave also to her husband, who was, is implied, with her, and he ate. Here note the third feminine singular suffixes on ish and im. This word sounds like the word for woman, isha, but clearly it's spelled different. Isha is not spelled with the yod, and there's no dogish in the hay. So when you have a dogish in the hay, in and hay, on a verb or a noun, that dogish is there, you know it is a third feminine singular suffix. Otherwise, that hay is doing something else. We know the hay can do many things, but when the dogish is there, it has to be a suffix. Vatipakachna eine shenehem vayed'u ki erumim haim. And their eyes were opened, and they knew that they were naked. This is naked were they, and naked has been fronted to the beginning of this clause. Typically, we would see haim at the beginning, but erumim has been fronted for focus or for emphasis. Vatit peru ale te'ena, and they sewed fig leaves together. Vaya'asu lehem chagorot, and they made for themselves loincloths or girdles or skirts or something. Vayishma'u et kol Adonai Elohim bagan laruach hayom, and they heard the Lord God's voice in the garden to the wind of the day. So this is an idiom that we've talked about before. To the wind of the day is just the cool part of the day. Here, this could also be, they heard the sound of the Lord God. Kol can be sound or voice. So it just kind of depends on how anthropomorphic you want to be in your translation. Did God make a sound? Did God talk? Hard to say. Vayit chabe ha'adam ve'ishto mepnei Adonai Elohim batok et hagan. And the man hid himself and his wife from the face of the Lord God in the midst of the trees of the garden. So this is a past narrative third masculine singular hitpael. It's hitpael because of this tav here. It's past narrative because of the vav patak. It's third masculine singular. This yod tells us that. The hay from the hitpael has been pushed out, as it always is in any imperfect or past narrative conjugation. The hay is always pushed out, but that tav is always there for the hitpael. Also notice the doubling on the a, vowels. So this is spelled exactly like hitpael is, as hitpael sounds. You got the hit, and you got the al, and our dogish is there. So all the signs of hitpael. But it's third masculine singular, so this could either just be referencing the man and his wife collectively, or somehow the man is taking a role in their hiding. It's hard to say exactly what's going on here because there's some gray area. So either this could be translated as the man and his wife hid themselves, or if you want to follow the singular of the verb, which is not grammatically necessary, but it's enticing for our translation, we could translate this: the man hid himself and he hid his wife. So hard to say if she was involved in them hiding or if the man was the one doing the hiding. From the face of the Lord, this can be from before. I like translating it from the face. Pain is literally face. So I like to translate it more literally there. Ayecha, where are you? God says. Et kolcha shemati bagan. Your voice I heard in the garden. The object of this sentence has been fronted. move to the beginning of the sentence for emphasis. And then we have our verb. There's no subject. It's implied inside of the verb here, which is first common singular. Note that it's singular. The man's talking. The woman is passive in the scene, similar to the previous panel here where the man is the one doing the acting. So the man says, I heard your voice. Va'ira ki erom anochi. And I was afraid because naked am I. Here we have a past narrative imperfect. Well, sorry, it's not past narrative imperfect. It's a past narrative. Can't be an imperfect as well. It looks like an imperfect because of the aleph on the front. The root is yod resh aleph yara, which means to be afraid. The vowel has been attached to the front. Normally in the past narrative, we have a vav patak doubling. Gutturals can't take the dagesh, so the dagesh is lost. That lengthens the patak underneath the vav. So this is a past narrative, simply translated in the past. Notice that here we have a perfect followed by past narrative. That's not uncommon for a narrative scene to start with a perfect and then transition to a past narrative. So I was afraid because naked am I. Again, here we have another fronted part of a clause. The subject is at the end. Typically, we see the subject at the beginning. If there's a verb, we'd see the verb at the beginning because of the grammatical word. No verb, so we have to add in was, but a Rome, being the object, has been fronted here. Va'echave, and I hid. Notice that this is no longer hit pa'el. Over here in this panel, we had a hit pa'el. We simply have what looks to me like a past narrative nifal. This zere looks a lot like it'd be a nifal. Normally, if it was a nifal, we would see a dagesh in the chet here in the first root letter, but gutturals don't take dagesh. So that has lengthened what is oftentimes a segel underneath the prefix for, or the performative is what sometimes we call it, for the past narrative, but it's been lengthened. Anyways, it is nifal, which has the similar reflexive properties as the hit pile, but it's not causative. So, so I was hidden, or I hid myself. Over here, I caused myself to be hidden. Not too much of a difference in translation there, but a different binyanim. Mi hegid lecha ki e rom ata. God's talking here. Who told you that naked are you? Here we have hifil. The God is the root. Nun gimel dalet. The nun has been pushed into the gimel, assimilated into the gimel. That's why the gimel has a dagesh. Two clear signs of the hifil, the hey and the hirik yod. This is a perfect verb. Third masculine singular. Who told to you that naked are you? Again, naked's been fronted for emphasis. That is obviously the central focus of this whole story. Hamin ha'etz asher tziviti otcha levilti akol mimenu akalta. From the tree which I commanded you to not eat from it, you ate. So that question comes all the way from the interrogative hey, all the way at the beginning here. Here we have a grammatical term which has changed a little bit of the sentence structure. A little bit of fronting looks like it's taken place. But whenever you see an interrogative hey, you need to put a pin in that because in English, we don't think about the question until the very end. In Hebrew, the question mark's put at the very beginning. So from the tree which I commanded you, here we have a first common singular perfect. No, PL. This is a PL. We have our hirik here, doubling in the vav. Since it's in the PL, it could be somewhat emphatic, but it's hard to say. PL can add emphasis. commanded to you to not eat. From it you ate. So here again we have a perfect, second masculine singular perfect. Ha'isha asher netata imadi hi notna li min ha'etz. The woman which you gave alongside me, she gave to me from the tree, and I ate. Here we have a past narrative past narrative, first common singular. Normally we would have expected 2 olives here, but Hebrew doesn't like to have 2 olives in a row, so one of them is just completely dropped. But we know it's past narrative because of the vav and the comets. We would expect a dagesh here in the olive because of the past narrative, but gutturals don't take dagesh. Ma zot asit, what have you done? Nice question statement here with a demonstrative pronoun. What is this you have done? Hanachash hashi oti va'ochel. The snake deceived me, and I ate. This is actually a hifil, so we could translate as the snake caused me to be deceived. It's a hifil from Nashah. So we got a dagesh in there because the noon has been assimilated into the shin. That's why there's a dagesh there. But the hifil is pretty clear at the hey, hirik, and the hirik yod. So that is Chelek Beit, the second section of Gan Eden, the third cycle of the Garden of Eden story.